All right, I'm looking at another Fibble. This is the game that's just like Wordle, but on every row, one of the clues is a lie. They're starting us with Tenet, which is a good movie. I enjoyed it. I want to assume the N is true, and maybe we'll have a T be a lie, or an E at the end. We could do dance, sure. Okay, well, one of the N's is a lie, so there's definitely no E's. We could have the N and the C. And then we'd have to have a T. We could do something like this, but then I think of enact, and there's no E. Inact. We could do inact? No. Oh, we can't. Wait, what? Oh, no. It's got to be NCT. Oh, yeah, that's different. Not N second. Okay, so that doesn't work as well. We could do T something. And C maybe like I don't know. I don't know what that would be. Huh. Can we do NCT like UNCT? Something like defunct, but that's obviously too long. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work. So at this point, if the green N is true, then the green C has to be true, and we have to have a T. But I don't know how that's gonna work. You could do something like, tonic, but the C's in the wrong place. So I don't think the green N can be true, which means there's no lie. Now there could still be an N somewhere else. But if there's no N, what if we could do, no, we can't do the E, we can't do false. Oh, and so we gotta have a C anyways, okay. I was gonna say A and C, but we can't do the E and, C, K then maybe? We could also do ACK like this, like, well, we could do crack, see if we can crack this wide open. Okay, one of the C's is a lie, so there's no A. All right, and so, again, if the N were there, it would have to be NCK, and you'd have to have a T and an R. Yeah, it's not gonna work. So there's no way the green N can be true. That has to be a lie, which means the T's are true. Okay. I'm still assuming maybe no N. We could still have a CK. The R would have to be true. RCK or the R at the beginning? Man, I'm not coming up with anything there. So maybe the I don't know. Well, maybe there's no N and there's no C. That's possible. The C could be the lion dance, no C. The K could be the lion crack. We could have the R and new letters at this point. Let's do royals. I don't know. Okay. Well, interesting. Could we do OI and then the R somewhere else, like noir, but that's no good. Or the I here and the R, and then an L or an S. Well, it doesn't work, but we can almost do Loris. But we can't do the L and the S. So that doesn't work. The R could be at the beginning and you could put an I somewhere else, but yeah, and if there's no K, then that still works. That would be the lion crack. I was gonna say something like Robin, but we can't have an N, or else we need a C. So that doesn't work. Maybe the O is the lie. We could do OIR. I want to say choir, but we can't have a C unless we have the K. We can't do prior because, well, for several reasons. The R can't be there unless, again, there's a K, and the I can't be there. Okay, so, and we can't do, yeah. Okay, well, I feel like there's probably an R at this point, and no C, and no N, and no K. So maybe there's no I. Or could the I be the lie and it's there? I don't think that really works. So, I am worried that maybe there's no I. Let's try that. Okay, well, one of the O's is a lie. And one of the R's is a lie. Everything else is true. Interesting. So, so there is an I. Okay, the Y is at the end. So we know the K is definitely a lie. And so we know the C is definitely a lie, and there's no N. There's no N, there's no C, there's no K. Well, there could be a K, but it can't be there. So if the O is there, then we definitely have to have an R. We can only have one, though. Something like wormy, except we can't... Oh, actually, no. No. If the O is there, then there's no R. But we know there's an R. We know there's an R. Because of crack. So one of these R's is a lie. This yellow O has to be true. That's a lie. This is true. Okay, so there is an O. It's not second. There is an I. Back to this again, but then the R. Oh, but there's a Y. Okay, so O-R, Y, Ivory. Oh, wow. All right, tricky one for sure with the I at the beginning. And yeah, and of course the first few guesses, all of the green letters I was getting were lies, which just, actually the first 4 guesses, all the green letters I got were lies, which just makes it that much harder, but got there with 5 guesses in the end. So let me know how your solve went, and of course, be sure to subscribe for more.